Hello everybody, I am the Black Sigma, or you could just call me Eric, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Justice for All. And after the upsetting return of Miles Edgeworth, at least we got some useful information out of Gumshoe about Adrian Andrews' mentor. Looks like Mrs. Andrews isn't here. Mrs. That's Ms. Pearl, you misread it. Haha. Anyway, that's not good. I still have a few questions I want to ask her. New questions to ask her, in fact. And she has that psych lock on her heart, right? Well, we don't have much of a choice. I guess we'll have to come back later. And there goes the one lead that I thought I had. Lotta, do you know where she went? Lotta, please, information? Nope. Okay, let's try another room. Yeah, we're at this point of the game where things just... Oh, I might have to actually talk to Edgeworth. I might have to actually talk to him more than... Actually, now that I've re-met him, I can show people his picture. Ms. Oldbag, nothing. Kinda weird considering how much of a crush on him you had, you weird old bag, but... Fine, Edgeworth, do you know anything about this? Nope. No interest in talking about useless evidence. Well, it isn't exactly useless. I can't tell him about this, right? I mean... On one hand, Miles sure would be trustworthy with the information that Maya has been kidnapped. On the other hand, he fucking broke that trust when he disappeared for a year. Fine. Oh, great, he has no interest in talking about that either. Okay, We're looking into leads. Do you know anything about... This woman is another key to solving the case. Do you really think so? She was Adrian Andrews' mentor a long time ago, but she was suddenly called away by a different show and became Juan Corrida's manager. And then, a few months later, Celestine Parks died. But her death was ruled a suicide, right? Yes. But there is still one riddle we've yet to solve. Did they really... Man, I've been noticing a lot more typos in this game than in the first one. Anyway, riddle? Her suicide note. You mean like the one you left that wasn't actually a suicide note, but was extremely misinterpreted? Jackass. It went missing. No one could find it. Suicide note that just vanished, huh? Interesting. Do you want to talk to me about that? Great. Ms. Inpax's death was most certainly a suicide. Of that there is no mistake. However, we could not find her suicide note. That's when the police began to suspect that someone had hidden it. The suicide note? But how do you know Ms. Inpax had ever written such a note? There was no solid evidence. However, we did find traces of ink on her right index finger, which makes the likelihood of a suicide note very high. But who would hide such a thing? The police think it was Mr. Juan Carida himself. The victim? In this case? Why would he... He was the one who found her body, which makes him the only person who had a chance to hide her suicide note. Mr. Carida hid his own manager's suicide note? But why? As long as her note is missing, any speculation beyond this is meaningless. For now, I think you should look this over. New evidence! Hooray! This is the suicide report. Part 1, anyway. Part 1. I see. Maybe I can present this to someone. Deceased Celestine Parks, found by Juan Carida, was her suicide note hidden? Okay, interesting details. Maybe Adrian Andrews is back in her room now? Like, now that I have this evidence, she'll be here for me to present it to her? Nope. Haha, great. Okay, time to present new evidence to everyone I can. Lotta doesn't know anything. Will Powers is part of the industry. Maybe he's heard of the situation. Nope. Okay. Old bag? Nope. Strange. Who else can I talk to, or what else can I show people to bring up new? Okay. I just had to present Edgeworth with something that he gave me. Thanks. So, I accidentally skipped dialogue there because I didn't expect this to be a thing. Adrian Andrews also attempted, suicide, I think is what we're saying? Yeah, that's what we're saying. That's the dialogue I skipped. Holy shit. She tried to kill herself? She doesn't seem like the kind of person to try and kill herself, though. You think she's a strong career woman? That's just what she wants you to think. Adrian Andrews. She has a certain secret she's always trying to hide. A secret? Her dependent nature. That's what she's really like on the inside. Is Andrews dependent? Talk about the exact opposite of what that woman is, as far as I know. And just for the sake of it, I'll present him with the same thing to get through that extra dialogue. He doesn't like to look through reports, he likes suicide reports, even less. Worst of all, reports that have multiple parts like this one. 2 parts. What you just handed me is the first part. You mean what you handed me and then I handed back to you? And the second part is about the attempt Adrian Andrews made. Yep, okay, I'm all caught up. Thanks. Now maybe Adrian is back so I can talk to her about the fact her mentor killed herself and she tried to follow suit. Come on. Be in the room. She's not in the room. Okay. Wait. Edgeworth. Did talking to you about this 2-part thing unlock a dialogue option about the 2-part thing? No. Okay. Huh. Strange. Tell me more about her. Adrian Andrews. She holds a large secret within herself. Secret? You can't help but feel that this whole case revolves around her. And that's all you have to say on the matter. Okay. This woman's another key to solving the case. Right, I already presented her to you. Strange. There is one place I haven't been in a bit. Talk to my defendant. Do you know anything about this? No, he doesn't. Anything about this? Ah, the rumored scandal of your manager dating Juan. If you're talking about her thing with Juan, I always thought she was a bit careless in the way she handled it. That's it. That's it. Thanks. Do you know anything about Celestine Parks? What's wrong? How much do you know? What do you mean, how much? Mr. Lawyer, I may be your client, but I hope you will keep yourself out of my personal life. Your personal life? No, I would never, sorry, what does this woman's suicide have to do with you? Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a lunch appointment I need to keep. You're in detention. Who in the world are you going to eat with? The security guard? We all know he's just a background element. Mr. Nick? This Celestine Parks lady. Somehow I get the feeling she is a very important person in all this. Great. So my defendant just decided to excuse himself from that conversation. Edgeworth, anything about him, maybe? While I was abroad, these deplorable types of actors became popular, I take it? Well, refreshing like a spring breeze is his motto. Refreshing? And what is so refreshing about a spring breeze? Sounds like the pollen is not treating him well this year. Edgeworth has hay fever. Good to know. But, still. Maybe someone else knows something about Celestine Parks. Maybe. Please. Anyone? Nope. Wait. I presented Powers with the case report. Did I present him with the profile of the woman? Nope, he doesn't know. Okay. Lotta, I presume you don't know anything, but I'll ask again anyway. Nope. And... Adrian, the person I would really love to ask about all this, still is not in her room. Well... Last resort, I suppose I can always go back to my office and talk to a literal child about what I meant to do next. Since there were no Cyclops, then that means we can trust On Guard is innocent. I really feel much better knowing that, since last night she was worrying. That doesn't tell me anything. I have something I want to ask you, Pearls. Okay, what is it? Why are you so interested in how No, this has no relevance to the case, Phoenix. Well, at least Phoenix put the kid in her place and told her to stop shipping me and Maya. At least there's that. The child slapped me for defying her ship. Great. But that doesn't help me in this case. Ah! Oh my god. I'm really that blind, huh? The new dialogue option didn't appear at the bottom of the list like it normally does. It replaced the top dialogue option. What's this about Ms. Andrews having a dependent nature? Adrian Andrews' attempt at suicide was a few days after the death of Celestine Parks. And why did Adrian Andrews think about committing suicide? Because she had apparently lost her will to live. Lost her will? But why would she... Her pillar of strength, her mentor, Celestine Parks, was gone forever. That's why. But why would that... Is this what they call following someone to the grave? After her attempted suicide, Adrian Andrews started attending counseling sessions. She is someone who needs a person in whom she can trust absolutely. And once she finds that person, she'll do anything she can to keep them near. Without such an anchor in her life, her crippling anxiety stifles her ability to live. And that's the nature of her dependency on others. When Celestine Parks suddenly committed suicide, the world before her turned pitch dark. That's according to Adrian Andrews herself. Then that means her super confident attitude, it's all a facade. She's only copying her mentor's behavior to hold herself together. How terrible. Hey, and there's part 2 of that record. I'll try presenting it to Edgeworth first. Appearances can be deceiving. It's such a cliché saying, but cliché because it's true. Ms. Andrews. To think that behind that unwavering brave front, she's been hiding this weakness and fear. Well, that isn't demoralizing at all. Time to talk to others about this, if anyone will listen. Old Bag doesn't care. Maybe now that I have this new evidence, Adrian will talk to me again? Maybe. But I'll have to try at least presenting this to people on the way so I don't get stuck again. Okay. Adrian Andrews, are you here? Green text, always a good sign. Oh, Miss Andrews is here, but it looks like she's talking with someone. That's Franziska von Karma. Ms. von Karma? What are you doing here? Well, you see, I'm his lawyer, so you've got some nerve following me around. Following you? That's you, Ms. von Karma. You're the one doing the following. Pearls. You're always following after that Mr. Detective with the lil beard. Me? Following after Scruffy? Don't make me laugh. Let me show you something interesting, little girl. Huh. What is that? An electromagnetic receiver. I planted a tracking device on that detective. And with this, I know that fool's every move. So that's the noise we kept hearing. Feel really sorry for poor Detective Gumshoe now. Now then, let's stop wasting time. Adrian Andrews. Yes? Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood? Alright. What were those two talking about? Miss Andrews, she seems a little dazed, doesn't she? Yeah, not like her. Anyway, I've got a bunch of new evidence since the last time we talked. I'd like to ask you about any of these suicides? No? Or suicide and attempt? What about your mentor, Celeste? No, you don't want to discuss her directly? Fine by me. We know that you have psych locks, which means pull out the Margatama and do some, well, magical persuading. Okay. Why was Juan Corrida murdered? If you ask me, I think you know the reason he was killed. Why are you hiding things? Don't you realize you're putting Mr. On Guard's life in danger by your actions? Why do you ask questions for which I have no answers? The truth is, I was not that close to Mr. Corrida. You were not that close. That's right, I've never been good at being intimate with another person. You're not good at being intimate with another person? Somehow, I highly doubt that. Now, the question is, which piece of evidence do I start with? The article about the scandal? Or maybe, your deceased mentor? Nope. Okay. Accidentally pressing the B button to skip dialogue and skipping the thing I need to not skip. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we, Adrian? How about we start with the simple and work our way to the difficult? You and Mr. Corrida had an intimate relationship, did you not? A silly third-rate tabloid article. If you had even half your wits about you, you wouldn't believe such rubbish. Well, it seems quite a few people have already bought into this story. As to be expected in a world filled with crooks and liars. Note to self, stay on her good side. In any case, I despise interpersonal relationships like that. I see. However, what if there was a need for you to get close to someone? Me need to get close to Mr. Corrida? As if there was ever such a need. Didn't you get close to Mr. Corrida for this person's sake? It's either got to be Juan or On Guard. The scandal is that she did it for Matt's sake. But the truth is, her mentor was Corrida's manager. I'll start with her. Celeste Parks, your mentor. How do you know about Celeste? Ms. in Parks, she committed suicide, didn't she? But it looks like no one knows why. Right before her death, she was Juan Corrida's manager, so I believe you got close to Mr. Corrida so you could find out more about her suicide. You have a great imagination. You may have a future yet as a slimy muckraker for a putrid third-rate tabloid. Ms. Andrews, there was no mystery surrounding her death. None. It would be pointless for me to force myself into a relationship for nothing. Is that really true? Was there really no mystery at all? I don't believe you were completely at ease with the way her suicide was resolved. In fact, her suicide note was missing, wasn't it? Looks like the police were under the suspicion that someone had hidden it. Like maybe the person who discovered the body, Mr. Corrida. Juan? And, Ms. Andrews, I believe you thought the same thing. That is why you became intimate with Mr. Corrida. I've sat by quietly and listened to your insulting ramblings long enough. It's true that Celeste was my mentor. However, allow me to say this again. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even know that her suicide note was never found. I'm a person who doesn't care about what goes on in the lives of others. That's the impression you like to give. However, I don't think that's who you really are. What? I have evidence that says otherwise. This is proof that Celeste Parks was someone very close to you. Special to you, even. You tried to follow her to the grave, didn't you? Went through with ending your life. Ms. Andrews, you look and act like a very strong woman who has it all together. You don't ask for anyone's help, relying on only yourself. Yes, I've been very independent ever since I can remember. However, that's all just a lie, a facade. You've always searched out people on whom you can depend on. You were dependent on Ms. Parks, weren't you? Which is why, when she passed away, you lost everything you had. Stop! When Celeste passed away so suddenly like that, I died a death of my own. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't stop thinking about what had become of her note. You must have heard about the police report. The one that said they suspected Mr. Corrida of hiding the note. You heard about it and thought to recover it from him by getting close. Am I right? If that's the case, then everything changes. What do you mean? What topic did we start this conversation on again? It was... why was the victim killed? Exactly. Somehow, Ms. Andrews, it seems that you have become one with the reason that someone would want Mr. Corrida dead. Me? Ms. Parks was everything to you. And then she died. And you would do anything to find out why she killed herself. Even commit murder. Murder? Well, now that we've got a dialogue option about a motive for murder that was not Matt Onguard's motive, but Adrian Andrews, I'll see all of you in the next episode. Bye.